What is up, everybody, and welcome back to your favorite Wednesday night wrestling podcast with your host, Chuck Winchester, with your host, Yvonne DeBoard, and with your host, Josh DeBoard. I forgot to introduce myself as the current RSH heavyweight champion of the world. Huge week in wrestling. We still have, 2 weeks until Money in the Bank-ish? But we had a lot of matches already declared. We had a return of a certain YouTube celebrity for 14-year-olds come back on Monday night.
I love it.
And
that
did happen.
All kinds of stuff going on.
LA night.
Dude, he cracked me up with his
He
promo.
hit it right on the dot.
And look at Logan Paul's stupid face.
He didn't even have a response.
He
Because
did.
it's probably, we know it's true.
He looked at oh shit, that's pretty accurate.
LA Knight figured you out, buddy.
Right, doesn't she?
But yeah, that cracked me up.
That's
so
hilarious.
thank you all for joining us this evening, or whenever you choose to listen in your vehicles or in your homes or on the bathroom toilet. I don't care where you are listening and or watching us from. But yeah, let's get right into it. So Yvonne, you mentioned it right off the bat. Rumor has it,
Randy Orton's coming back.
as soon as she walked in my house today, guys, you hear about Randy Orton?
He's not retiring, so please be quiet. He's not retiring. He's had major surgery on his back. Don't mean he's done.
Are you pumped?
Yes.
Heck yeah. He did show a picture of him holding his wife's feet, and that made me lose all respect for him because that's disgusting.
That is weird.
So I hope he
Yeah.
loses every match he comes back to because of that picture.
Yeah, Orton. What the heck's going on with you, dude? Get your mind out of the gutters.
Yeah. What we got, Josh?
Off that.
What a transition. From Randy Orton to CM Punk.
Oh,
There you
Lord.
go.
Jimmy Baby.
Oh, Lord.
So I'll tell him 2 minutes, 30 seconds in. All right. So we'll start with Chuck. I'll just gather my thoughts. So we've all watched the promo. I didn't watch the show. I
Sure.
watched parts of the
I
match.
just watched
CM Punk won. Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise.
I'll tell you why that was a terrible decision when it's my turn.
He
Chuck, go
won-
ahead.
Oh, he won a match.
He won the match at the end. They had a 6-man tag the main event.
What
So he
was the
started
name
the
of
show
that
and then
team?
ended the show.
Oh, with the
What was their team name?
The 7th version of the Bullet Club that there is.
Yeah.
what's-
Anybody in the comments about this show that has any information about how many Bullet Clubs there are? Gold, blue, purple, pink. I don't know,
There's
but
too many, we can't-
I got many issues with, as you guys could probably tell, I have issues with Collision. But we'll start with Chuck.
Exactly.
Chuck's
So-
the positive one here.
But yeah, I didn't watch the entire show. I
All right,
watched
there- smart guy.
while that show was actually on live, I was watching Fast X. So
Interesting to say.
I don't blame you.
I
there.
mean, what are you gonna do?
You got better things on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I had
That's
a
a
good time
fact.
watching it, and I was drinking a little bit. It's a good time, even though it ended on a spoiler alert. It ended on a fucking cliffhanger, fucking ridiculous.
At
But,
least they're making 5 more.
Only 2, they say, but whatever.
Fast. 23 or 70. And it's how's
They'll-
Vin Diesel still
They'll
alive?
call it Furious 27.5,
Yeah.
the
By then-
Fast franchise elite.
Elon Musk's AIs will all be in it.
Right. But anyway, I chose to pay $20 to watch Fast X rather than watch a free episode of AEW Collision. But-
Smart choice.
But I
Smart
did watch the
choice.
promo the next day. I enjoyed the promo. I mean, I like CM Punk. I've always liked CM Punk. His promo was pretty CM Punk standard, I think. It's nothing new there. I did like how he made fun of the Young Bucks a little bit. We all want that. We all expected that. You gotta throw that jab in there. But yeah, overall, I like the promo. Like Josh, we talked about it via text message. It's nothing new, nothing groundbreaking, pretty repetitive stuff. But I like CM Punk, and his promos I always enjoy. Can't attest to the match. Can't attest to anything else on the show, as I didn't watch, nor did I really care to watch. Because now we also just learned about 10 minutes ago, I was under the impression that AEW Rampage was getting canceled or moved, taken off the air to make room for AEW Collision. I wasn't aware that Rampage is still a thing. So that's fucking ridiculous.
That is 3 shows. Wednesday,
Rampage is there,
yeah.
You can't
if
have
you
a
add
Friday
up
night
all
and
3,
Saturday night show.
yes, they can. If they add all 3 shows up, they get $1 million.
I
That's
guess.
how they get there.
But yeah, I did like
But
the
it's
CM Punk
weird.
promo, and I don't, as long as they're all adults, you would think. So if Tony Khan can grow a pair, he has locker room under control. I mean, CM Punk is a draw and has entertaining
is.
feuds and matches. If he could just
Man,
do that.
deal with it.
Now, I think the problem with AEW outside of Tony Khan's leadership issues are the Young Bucks. It's a bunch of fucking children.
They are.
And maybe Kenny Omega to a lesser extent, because from the way it sounds, he's kind of distancing himself from the Young
He
Bucks
is.
and the Elite.
He has been.
So I think the Young Bucks need to grow the fuck up and or get the fuck out.
Right.
But CM Punk, I like him, and I'm not going to watch because of him going forward. And I might see things on YouTube or whatever, but I'm just not that dedicated these days to watch AEW because of one guy.
Another show.
But that's me.
Another
Nothing.
show revolving around him.
Nothing
Yeah.
really negative. I mean,
Nope.
nothing really positive. I like the promo. That's cool.
Same Punk promo.
Yep.
Chuck hit everything I was gonna say. Not everything, but like the Young Bucks. I mean, grow up. I mean, shit. But like I have, out of the three of us, I do watch AEW the most. But Kenny has been distancing himself from them, so hopefully he gets out of that. Hopefully, and goes to WWE at some point. Get away from that and Hangman. But yeah, like Chuck said, same old Punk promo. Nothing crazy. You love him, you hate him. Like he said, he is good at what he does on the mic. You want to watch.
Tell him when he's lying.
Exactly. Tell me when I'm lying.
Yeah, that's going to get old. This is that's going to get as old as fast as
Cody wants.
what do you want to talk about?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
tell me when I'm lying. I mean, I could have told him a few times, but
It's
The thing like about CM Punk, like him or hate him, he
Yeah.
always will tell what he believes to be true.
and he don't care.
that's worded very well.
whether
And he don't care.
Whether
you
it's
know,
actually true
whether,
or not.
however he perceives it, he will
does.
say that.
Like he said, tell me when I'm lying. Oh, good gosh. That's gonna be annoying.
I want to
too.
go to a particular person's Twitter account that we all know on this show.
Oh,
And
Lord.
just because he literally tweeted the opposite of how I felt about everything that happened during that show. You guys might know him.
Uh-oh.
Half of his name's part of Adam Cole's.
Oh,
So,
baby. See, I thought he was
Baby.
gonna be on the show tonight.
No,
So
good cover.
Yep.
All right.
We know that name.
So, damn, baby, quit tweeting so much. I can't find your shit.
I know he does tweet.
Happy Father's Day to all the fathers of the douchebag, deadbeat, dead Rey Mysterio. That's hilarious.
That is
All right.
funny.
So, Bebe
That's
tweeted
good.
about 36 times that he loved it. So, I mean, I wonder why.
Exactly.
All right. So, first off, the king is back. He's not the king of shit. I just
Jerry
wanna
Lawler's
point that-
back. I thought he was having
The king is
health
back,
problems.
Bebe. No, he's not a king of anything. He ain't a king of any castle I want to watch.
Exactly.
All right. So, I don't know what the Punk standard for promos is, but that was pretty like average. I mean, that's what he says every week when he used to be there. I disagree with the draw part. All I know is when SmackDown doesn't have Roman, they do about 2 million. When SmackDown has Roman, they do about 3. That's a draw. He moves 1 million about his appearance moves 1 million people. Punk, he had a great number. Now, if next week they get 1.3, I'll come on here. I'll be like, dude, I was completely wrong. He's such a draw. But he doesn't. He didn't draw it on Dynamite when he was there the last time. He doesn't draw it now. And God forbid they ever put it on Rampage. They tried. They did. They tried. And it still didn't work.
He debuted on Rampage initially, which I watched.
His
that.
debut was probably the highest rated one.
It was on Rampage.
I think it did about 800 grand. It had a good number,
It did.
but we expected it to have a good number.
All about
It's its
him.
debut, and they only put it on every fucking channel, every commercial. I got YouTube TV. So
on everything.
every other commercial was Collision. So they should have got enough. Bebe was betting people online that he'd get 1 million. Hope you didn't bet no real money.
I hope
You're not going to get 1 million on a Saturday night at 7:30.
At 7:30.
That's just not
Or-
gonna-
During UFC,
it's
by
not
the
gonna
way.
happen.
Yeah.
So my buddy
It's
Trey,
summertime. Right.
Trey, who's on my dart team, I don't know shit about UFC. I don't give a fuck about it at all. So I was like, what is their primary night? Like, what's their big night? He goes, Saturday. And I was like, is it big fights every week? Is it like once a week? There's a monster card. He said, yeah, once a week there's a monster card on a Saturday.
They do UFC every Saturday night.
Saturday night at 8
Wow.
o'clock. Because he's won probably $3,000 off of it over the past 3 weeks.
Damn.
Because he's a very, it's like
Sure.
how we'd be if
He's
we
in
could
it.
bet on this.
Right. I got you.
But so the UFC shit's picking up steam. There's a lot of shit going on. I don't care, but he has told me like it's getting really busy.
Sure.
We talked about it last week. College football is going to be back soon. Football dominates the world.
Yep.
Like the United States of America sport is football.
Oh yeah.
So when college football comes back, it's going to hurt. When
Yep.
any sporting event that needs to go on TNT, they're going to get preempted for.
Basketball. That's a big one.
Basketball, it'll come back. Basketball's back in November, so they get preempted for. And I don't like. So here's what happened at the end. So they won. Samoa Joe and him had some good moments where Joe actually went and just started hitting him for real. And
I did see pictures, I guess.
I
of theirs
don't
in
like the fact
2009.
that Punk got the win. I don't think he should have got pinned, but AEW made me feel this way because after the match, Jay White, the legend that was going to change the whole trajectory of
I remember
AEW
that.
until now he was on Elevation a week later.
What the fuck is Elevation?
I know.
That YouTube show, one of the three they had. They had AEW Dark,
You see what I- it's out of
Elevation,
control. You see it's out of
Rampage,
control.
Dynamite, Collision.
Ugh.
It's too much.
AEW needs to relax.
He does a lot of cocaine. He has a lot of time to plan new shows.
Jesus, less.
So after the match, they do a backstage thing with Juice Williams and Jay White, who are part of the Bullet Club Gold. If anybody could fucking tell me what
Whatever
any
the
of this
heck
means,
that
I would
is.
like, because Styles was the leader of a Bullet Club, so
Yeah.
was Balor.
Mhm.
Kenta was, Jay White was, Kenny was,
Yeah.
Cody was, the Bucks
Good
were. So that's
God.
8, unless they're the
Jeez.
same one. Or
It's like
them.
the NWO, bro.
Well, it's worse because they're still trying to drag it out and it doesn't really mean
I
anything.
hope it's not the same. I
But
hope.
whatever. So
I
after
don't
the
know.
match, so CM Punk gets go to sleep on Juice
Mm-hmm.
Robinson and pins him. That's how the match ended.
Cool.
So after the match, Jay White comes out and says, FTR, you're scared to fight us for the tag team titles. We're going to come and take your titles. When you lose a match, you don't typically cut a promo right afterwards acting like you won something, which you
Mhm.
didn't. And then you challenge the world tag team titles and you call them out. It makes zero
Wow,
sense to me.
that's
A
stupid.
better booking decision would have been a schoolboy on one of the FTR people. Oh shit, they lost. There's a little shock. I could call CM Punk pinning Juice Robinson. I had to Google who the fuck Juice Robinson was on Thursday because I forgot.
I thought it was like that rapper guy.
So it was a very bland episode. I heard the rest of the show was good. I heard the women's match is really good. People loved CM Punk for a week, but I don't really have high hopes for it. And I hope by the time Bay comes back on, they're about hoovering around 500 grand.
I mean, they
'Cause that's-
probably will.
I think
be.
it's where they will be.
It's a terrible time slot, bro.
So
You
it's a bad
can't-
time
Bad
slot.
day,
It's bad
too.
management.
It
I don't know
is.
how you guys feel about I know Chuck feels childish or whatever, but I pushed the blame toward both of them. CM Punk also did an interview with ESPN where he buried Adam Page in the Bucks.
Wow.
That was not okay by AEW.
No.
So I mean, he's just as childish
I'm
as
not
they
arguing
are.
with that.
is.
So,
Get over
but
it.
the Young Bucks are
God.
having pre-taped vignettes
They
during
don't-
their feud with
They don't want to be around.
whatever Moxley. Did you see the video of Moxley
Blackpool
like
Combat Club. Yep.
breaking character like a jackass during a match last week?
Mhm.
So he starts hanging out with the guy, like shooting the shit during the match, and they're like, even the announcer's like, Moxley. So like you see it on Twitter, and he's shooting the shit with the guy he supposedly hates and wants to kill.
Oh my God.
His promo, not mine.
That's my.
So AEW they can't handle the basic kayfabe part of wrestling for
They
me.
can't do it.
But then you have your elite, which is what their biggest group, right?
That's
Probably
right.
I would
still.
assume
Biggest
so.
one,
No,
yeah.
And
I
you
would
can't
think.
have them in the same arena
With your
Yeah, you
biggest
can't.
one.
as your biggest draw,
It's embarrassing.
which it isn't. It's MJF.
Dude,
But
Yep.
imagine back in the day in the Attitude
Vince
Era.
McMahon would shit.
Let's
He
imagine,
would.
we couldn't have like Stone Cold and Triple H in the same room together because they can't get along in real life. We had The Undertaker and The Rock in
Dude,
the same room together.
WWE
They
has
can't get along.
had people
You can't do
work
that.
together that fucking hate each
Absolutely.
other.
They have.
because it's
You know
called
why?
being professional.
Being
And it's
professional.
good business.
Yep,
You know how much
business.
money is in that storyline? It's not even a fucking storyline. It
It's-
really happened.
It really
And
happened.
you know, in the ESPN interview, what set Punk off out of all the shit. So a professional wrestler, we all understand they get injured.
Sure.
How, from a 1 to 10, how severe of an injury would you rank a chipped tooth?
I've chipped my teeth. Fucking sucks.
As a professional wrestler with insurance and people backstage that could probably put your fucking tooth right
Well,
back together.
After
If you get your tooth chipped on accident during a match, how
yeah,
from 1 to 10, how severe is that?
after watching Finn Balor get his head stapled together during a match
Exactly.
at
And keep going.
WrestleMania, I don't think a chipped tooth is that big of a deal.
So
at
that's
all.
where all Punk's animosity came from. Adam Page
God.
chipped his tooth in a match.
Oh my.
So that's what set him off to Adam Page,
Let's go
which
cry.
pissed off Adam Page, which
Sure.
pissed off the Young Bucks, which made them hit his dog or whatever the fuck happened. Now AJ Lee's like put on fat 58 pounds of muscle talking about don't hit my dog again. I don't know what the fuck's
No,
going
I'm
on.
with her on that.
I
one.
get them
Don't
hit
hit
the
dogs.
dog, but
Don't hit the dog.
if
Just
this
hit
is the
Punk.
most interesting thing in a wrestling company, it's
Let him
fucking
be.
pretty sad,
The
dude.
most interesting thing is something that happened off camera after a pay per view.
Look, let's just say
That's
a dude eating muffins with a Coke head beside him with no balls whatsoever.
Mhm.
That's and this is what WWE's doing right now. You see why one company's
AEW don't copy.
flourishing and one company's creating a show for every fucking day of the week trying to be
That
relevant.
people want to watch.
Dude, that's the thing. They're just creating more shows without creating content.
They
for
have
their
had
current
7 shows since AW started.
Like, what the
Man.
fuck? I can't believe that Rampage is still.
You
on.
want?
It
Does
is.
their reality show count? Because they have one of those now
Oh, they
too.
the reality show.
It's on HBO Max and nobody watches.
Is that the one that's supposed
The
to be about Cody
backstage
Rhodes? But now
show
it's not.
thing?
Yeah, now it's about Adam Cole.
It's like a AEW backstage show.
Baby, I hope you're right. 2 minutes, 30 seconds to 15. I'll text you. You can, whenever you have time. I know he's probably going to travel to London for the pay-per-view because that's what he does.
Oh yeah, the Wembley, bro.
But that's all I got. about CM
AEW's out of
Punk.
control.
I'm not going to watch it. The promo is okay. The
It's
match
out
is
of
fine.
control.
I wanted some original. It wasn't. It is what it is. And then Kenta backed out of a match against him. He said he doesn't want to wrestle him. I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to wrestle a guy that stole my finishing move either, but whatever.
Seems to be a theme going on. Like I said, I don't really know the
Nobody wants to
backstage
work with
stuff,
Punk
but-
except Joe.
That's it.
And they have history. They know each
Jericho
other.
is fucking over it. He's coming to Franklin,
He's
Ohio
gonna-
to get
he'll be
away
here
from
next
it.
He's
week.
done.
So-
He'll be here playing Kiss next week. He don't give a fuck.
They created a Kiss cover band real quick to
Just
get
to
the fuck
get away from
I don't blame him at all.
So let's transition into
That's
some
fucking
other
funny.
news. So the Orton thing's kind of cool.
It is cool.
Now, me and Yvonne are arguing for 2 days about it.
Mhm.
I think he needs to come in at SummerSlam as Gunther's beating the ever-living shit out of Riddle
Which we know
and
is
save
worth.
him. And then you could do an Imperium RK Bro thing for a minute.
For sure.
And you can have Gunther and Orton have a very good match, which Orton will lose because he should not be the fucking Intercontinental Champion one.
No,
And he
don't
should
know.
not be going over Gunther too.
No, he's not.
Agreed.
He's gonna get hurt by Gunther.
That would be a great use of him. Then he could feud with Roman maybe down the road. But Roman, which we're going to transition to
not
right now,
but
is in a lot of fucking shit right now. And he has it would make no logical sense to throw.
Well, he has 3
Any-
belts. He should be fighting 3 different
Dude,
people.
And, all right, let's start with that. I love
I think it's hilarious.
I love it. I love it. I like WWE's flexing like fuck you. Like, oh,
Mhm.
you don't like Becky 2 belts? I heard you guys bitching. Check this out. So he has Paul carrying 2.
He does.
So I get
They're no longer valid. They're
So
just
they-
not.
That's what's funny.
all right. So the thing about those belts, according to WWE, this is according to Michael Cole from Friday Night SmackDown, those belts are aforementioned retired when Roman loses. So when Roman loses, those 2 belts will be retired
Right.
because he's technically, been that champion for 1,040 days now, I think, or some shit. So that's what's going to happen with those
Well,
belts. But I love,
It's really
I
funny.
love the flex.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
I mean, he was presented a new belt to replace those 2
And he's
belts.
still carrying.
And he's like, you know what? I'll just keep them.
Roman 3 belts.
I got Paul to carry him. It's
Dude,
cool.
I love it. I love it so much.
Roman 3 belts.
If it's pettiness, if it's whatever it is, I fucking love it.
Arrogance is what it
I,
is.
I like
That's
it.
Roman.
I
It's
dig
funny.
it. I
Yeah,
dig it.
I mean,
a
it's
lot.
hilarious.
That's Roman Reigns for you.
It's good. It's good TV.
So SmackDown was great.
Really good.
Pretty Deadly's #1 contenders for the tag belt.
Dude, the more I see him, the more I like
They're
him.
good.
So
I want to hate him, but they crack me up.
yeah,
They're funny.
did you guys we'll talk about Hit Row briefly because I think that's about how long their
Hit Row.
careers
You
are.
mentioned to me.
So
earlier.
first off, they're not even in the graphic for the match.
They're not.
But they got put in the match. Top Dollar got broke kicked and lost in 10 seconds.
Oh, forget.
So where do you guys think when the Future Endeavored shit starts again, who's going to get cut first?
Hit Row's gone.
Hit Row.
So
probably.
Hit Row issue is Swerve's in AEW.
Yeah, he is.
And they were much better with Swerve.
They were a lot
it didn't
better.
work.
Yeah,
But
Hit-
Pretty Deadly. Their shit's weird. Their promo freaked me out a little bit. Like, yes, boy. Yes. Like, that kind of freaks me out. They're like rubbing their nipples and like their shirt comes down to here.
their shirts freak me out.
Like,
But they're
I just don't,
funny.
I don't hang out with people that act that way.
They're funny.
It's weird that
Kevin
like,
Owens saves it.
they look more sexual with that little shirt thing than when guys are just with no shirt. Like I don't understand how
They're creepy.
how more clothing makes me more uncomfortable. I don't get it.
It is very uncomfortable.
But
You see why KO goes off.
um,
Yes, they are very.
Yeah.
They're an odd.
I mean, they fight the night before
I think. So.
Money in the Bank for the tag belts.
yeah,
That's
SmackDown
right.
Which I
right
like.
now.
They loaded the fuck out of both of those shows.
Sure.
They do.
SmackDown will probably be in America. That's gonna be picked on. Well,
No, it's in
SmackDown,
London.
It's gonna be in London live too. So is Raw gonna be in London as well, or are they
I don't
gonna
think
fly
so.
back?
I think Raw's back.
That's still cool though. They're gonna have SmackDown in London. That's badass.
Yep, that's why they were like booking the fuck out of it because that crowd's nuts.
Makes sense.
So I mean, because Triple H builds those cards that are 5
Sure.
to 6 matches,
And then they
so you
just
don't do 10. I
real
mean,
story.
KO and Sammy, it's not degrading them, you fucking idiots on the internet.
they're tag team
I mean,
champions.
like
Mhm,
it doesn't even,
exactly.
like they'll be featured on fucking SmackDown. Like it's the night before, and I'm sure there'll be cameos of them backstage during. Like it's fine.
Oh, so they won't have a match at Money in the Bank.
I don't think so. I think they're just going to do it Friday. Because they're also feuding with Imperium
Yeah, they have
right
everything.
now because they
They're
blew them
done
off
with
on
the
Raw.
Usos.
They
Yeah,
did.
they're
Yes.
done with the Usos.
Well, we'll get there. Because Sammy made an appearance, a brief appearance
Oh,
Friday
yeah.
with them.
I think that was just I told you, and Jay was like, I get it. You know?
Go ahead, get it out.
So
Yep.
Pretty Deadly. Vega beat Io Sky. So that Bailey Io Sky
And
thing.
Bailey was
So when
out there.
Bailey fights Shotzi this week, do we
Son-
and her spots on the line because Io volunteered her to accept the match.
Yep,
Io's
we
gonna
think
cost her.
Io accidentally
Yep.
probably.
cost Bailey her spot,
Yep.
They're,
and
they're
then
taking
Bailey
their
cost
time.
her the match.
I believe that, but they're taking their time doing it. They've been hitting at this since before
Which adding to
WrestleMania.
my theory for Money
So-
in the Bank, adding it.
Well, with Dakota
Yeah.
tearing her ACL,
That
it makes
does.
it more.
Yeah.
Even though after a month she's already out of her brace,
She's
which
already
is
out of
pretty
her brace
actually,
on
it's pretty
Twitter.
fucking bizarre
That's what's up.
actually because it's a 12-month recovery.
Not for her.
No, she's fucking ready to go.
She's ready to go.
According to Shayna Baszler, she's up walking around and shit already.
That's
So-
what's up.
But yeah, Vega, it was a good night for the LWO.
It was. Yep.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. I just
Your-
saw-
Your
yeah,
boy.
that's my thought exactly. I saw Charlotte's picture and I just felt choked. On
I
the
think
food
we all.
Grayson Waller was
I do.
excited to have her.
So
on the
Grayson
show.
Waller, who screamed, "The ladies love me" about 3 times during his show. It was very awkward at first with him and Charlotte. He just came off very awkward. It was
Yeah.
probably his worst showing so far.
Well, he doesn't really have any chemistry with Charlotte. Like,
He's
they
never
I don't
been
think
with-
anybody can
No.
have a. Charlotte's a terrible promo,
Yep.
so I don't know.
She doesn't belong on a talk show for
But
sure.
the good thing was, I love this new Bianca. I'm
This
fucking sick of
heelish-
your shit attitude.
This
Like,
heelish
I was told a
Bianca coming.
rematch, so I played good girl, and then you gave it to you because you are the line, because you've been hiding for months, which she did. She lost her belt
She
and she's
did,
been
she
gone.
ran off, yeah.
She does what Ronda Rousey and Brock Lesnar both do.
Yeah, so
They
She
lose
does.
and they cry and they
Hate to
she
lose.
say
said
it, but
that
she does.
when that title match happens, I think it's the same day as KO
I
and
think
them.
so.
I think.
I think
I
so.
think it's
too.
in London.
Cool.
I'll have to check.
Bianca's gonna cost her.
Bianca said she'll be at ringside, which I
Ooh.
think Bianca's going to jump in, wreak all fucking hell. Then I think that triple threat might be added
I
to
think
Money
a
in the
heelish
Bank.
Bianca's
Dude,
coming.
When are we going to see Bianca just strangle somebody with her hair?
I think we're very
I
close.
think we're
Like, I just wanna see
she's
her
getting-
take
Dude,
her
I
she's
think
getting
we're
fed
really
up.
close to her fucking flipping her lid.
She's
I think
fed
we're
up.
really close to her snapping.
I saw
really
that
do.
they're afraid to make her a full-fledged heel because of her relationship with the kids audience
Oh, dude,
and
she
the money that
is.
comes
She's like
in.
the John Cena of the
She
women's
is.
division,
She
dude.
absolutely
So I don't think she'll go full-fledged heel, but definitely this added to
It's
Well,
it.
they
gonna
got-
be- yeah, it's
They
gonna
still
be
got
nice.
Becky.
Sure.
Raquel's up and coming. We'll get to them when we get the Raw. I have an interesting theory about her.
Dude, she
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
stole Asuka's line, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Nobody's. Yeah, no, I saw that.
I was like, what?
So we'll just skip to. Hey, Karrion Kross got a. You two ain't gonna like it, but he finally got a definitive win.
He
He
got. He
did.
finally won a match.
As his wife tried to flirt with AJ Styles.
I know.
I'm married, bitch.
I'm watching it, and I'm like, Styles definitely has a wife.
He does,
Like,
he's
I was like, this
married,
definitely
yeah.
don't make no sense. to
And
me.
he has kids, yeah. And
But,
so does Scarlett. She's married.
Hey,
to
he
Cross.
debuted a new finisher. Whatever the fuck he hit on Styles, like a backwards F5. That's his
cool.
new finisher
That's cool.
That's what's up.
with the cross jacket. So I mean,
And we
he's
saw
got it-
Scarlett
I didn't know it
fight
was
too.
new.
That was good.
But he finally won a match.
Finally,
About time.
Styles and Keith Lee's wife. I mean,
exactly. Yeah, that's what she.
Mi Chin, Mia Yim, whatever the fuck her name is.
That's what I
I
said.
keep forgetting that that's his wife.
Yeah, Keith Lee looks horrible.
He does. He's
That's-
aged
hey, it's
big
when
time.
you work for. Never mind. All right, a dude who's over than everybody in AEW, including
Absolutely.
CM Punk. LA
Hey,
Knight.
Knight.
So
Yeah.
I love LA Knight.
he lost to Escobar, then he beat the shit. I love how he ran to the ring and just shoved Rey Mysterio down right away.
That's
no,
hilarious.
no games played.
Like not a word. He didn't have a first. He came out without a mic, which made me sad.
Yeah.
Then he shoved Rey Mysterio down, which made me happy.
That's all of it.
Deadbeat dad, baby. I got your back on that one.
Who won that? That they had the match on Father's Day. Who won? Do we know?
I can check. I did
Between
not.
Rey Mysterio.
I forgot
The
about that.
Yeah.
father versus son street fight.
Yeah, that was in Columbus, right?
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, there was a house show on Sunday, and Rey Mysterio fought his son Dominic Mysterio in a street fight on Father's Day.
19 hours ago. Here it is on YouTube.
Oh, you can watch it on YouTube. But
There's articles talking about it.
yeah,
There is,
I'd assume Ray won
Oh, here it is.
because house shows generally the faces win.
Here it is. I got the results.
Hell yeah!
So hey, Lashley's back. So he came
Lashley's
back at
back.
the Cincinnati show last Saturday.
I know he was gone.
Yeah, Lashley ain't been on TV for a month.
He has.
Ever since he lost his triple threat
Pay
to
attention, I
He's been
he beat
gone.
Cross, Theory beat Sheamus, Owens beat Alpha Academy
Nice.
and the Viking Raiders and the Usos.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Cody beat Finn Balor. Gunther beat Riddle and Shinsuke.
Damn.
Rey Mysterio beat Dominic in a Father's Day street
Chuck
fight.
called it, yep.
Seth Rollins beat Damian Priest.
Nice.
That was the house show in Columbus, Ohio, Sunday night.
That's probably a good show.
Ray won. Yeah.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder about Money in the Bank since Priest is main eventing every fucking house show right now. If they're
I
not
know.
going to put the fucking briefcase on
I
it.
know.
Yeah.
That's tough.
So let's talk about LA Knight because Bebe
Yeah.
actually brought up a great point last night that he's not wrong. I think Yvonne thinks he's wrong, but he made a very good point.
We'll see about
So
that.
he said,
We'll see.
I don't want to try to find his tweets. There's so many of them.
Dude,
He
tweets all
said
the time.
LA Knight got so over that he probably won't win the Money in the Bank because he doesn't need it. The Money in the Bank is used to elevate people. He doesn't need it. He already elevated himself.
Well,
So I don't think that he'll win it. He also said he does not think Logan Paul is going to win it because he doesn't need it.
You know.
that same argument could be made about Damian Priest. He's already over
He
too.
don't need
So
it
that
either.
and we all know the other three
But
that
the
are in
Priest-
it won't win.
He's Priest and at the level those two are. And the thing with Priest is, because right now, if I had to pick right now, I'd pick him. But I don't. We have 2 more weeks.
I'm still going with Law Knight.
But him with the tension between him and Balor,
Sure.
and then the Money in the Bank's going to happen earlier in the night than the main event, than
Sure.
the Seth versus Balor, right?
Oh, for
So you have
sure.
Priest win. He goes back, yeah, boy, I'm gonna win the belt. And then you go on Raw. Priest is celebrating. Balor. It's going. I think it might lead to further tension
It's
with
going to be tension.
the
Well,
fucking
we've
Judgment
already
Day, and
seen
that
it.
could actually work as a better long-term story. Then, if LA Knight gets it, I really don't like his placement on SmackDown. I don't like the fact he's on that show.
Oh, he needs to go to
I don't.
agree.
Him running around on SmackDown with the briefcase makes no fucking sense to me because
He needs
he's
to go to
nobody on this planet that watches WWE regularly. They all know he's not cashing in on Roman. So
He's
why is he
not,
running around
yep.
SmackDown with the
I
briefcase?
agree.
One, I think a Raw superstar should win it
Yep.
because nobody on SmackDown's cash. I know you can cash in on either, but if he can't show up on Raw,
Yeah.
why have him have the briefcase?
Right.
Nope, I agree.
Priest, I get it. I love Priest. I've liked Priest for a long
sure.
time
Hey,
since
so
his
do
like party gimmick in NXT.
I think this year is probably his best year.
Oh, dude, the Bad Money thing. That's where Bad Money worked out big time. That put him on the fucking map. Then that match he had with Seth a few weeks ago,
He did.
that kind of soured me on picking him because I was like, well, he just lost.
Sure.
I think it was a
That's still.
management loves you
I
kind of
think
thing.
so.
I think a dark horse in this whole thing is Shinsuke. I'm not saying I think he's going to win,
Nah.
but if something happened that he did because they were working their asses off to get him
They
back
are.
to where he was when he was fighting AJ Styles in Mania,
Back in the day.
that would not surprise me. I think Logan Paul is there because he's going to do crazy shit with Ricochet, and I
Sure.
think Ricochet versus Logan Paul will happen at SummerSlam. I think that's where they're going.
Yeah,
Because who interrupted Logan Paul first on Raw?
Yeah.
And he said, I made you famous. Ricochet cut a good promo.
He did.
Ricochet cut his
He
first
really
good
did.
promo.
That's what's up. I
Then
don't
LA
remember
Knight
it.
came out and shit all over.
That's what I remember.
Roasted.
So I get a text in the group chat. LA Knight is my hero. So I was like, well, Chuck, watch Raw. So he
that
said,
cracked me up, man.
what was it?
Love LA Knight.
14-year-old girls.
you,
Yes,
make videos for 14-year-old girls and call yourself a megastar.
Logan Paul didn't say that.
He didn't,
It's
his
true.
facial expression
He
was
didn't
like, yeah.
react.
And then he said, here's a map where I can tell you where to shove those bottles of Prime. Yeah. As he's
Oh, I
as
love
he's
LA
pulling
Knight.
bottles of Prime out of every fucking pocket. I can't hate. Prime is great.
Never had it.
Hangover,
Oh hell yeah!
one bottle. It's gone. It's completely gone.
I feel like it's like vitamin water, right?
It's a higher. It has more of the fucking one shit than Gatorade.
All right.
Like when I'm hungover, Mom, turn it off. When
You
I'm
need-
hungover, I have Prime ready. So I
I
drank
gotcha.
one, and it's gone.
You just need B
And
vitamins
it's dude,
and electrolytes.
and it's actually really good depending on what flavor. They have every fucking flavor that exists.
That's
It's very
what's up.
good. It's hard to find though.
sure.
But the Arab gas station by my apartment has it.
Hey,
So
there you go.
no, you all stay away. That's my shit. It's like $2.29 a bottle. It's not cheap. I
Yeah.
also learned today that 20 ounces of Mountain Dew are $2.79. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. I remember when you used to buy. I was talking to my boss at work. I remember when you could buy 20 ounces and you could win shit under the cap.
Yep, I remember them days.
Buy one, get one.
We get a free Pepsi all the
Now
time.
it's like
Yep.
we're too cheap to put anything under the cap.
That's
But
like you
it's
still
weird.
owe us $2. Fuck you.
Yeah, I owe you. I only drink half. But I love LA Knight.
I do too.
All reports are he's going to get pushed to the fucking moon.
As he should.
To the moon.
Does he
Cameron
need
Grimes.
the briefcase?
No, and in that
He
in
don't.
reality, in that match, nobody really needs it. The ones that have the ones that could win it. Let's be honest, Ricochet's not winning it.
Right.
Yeah, but the ones who could win it,
So you think it's
Don't need
Paul, LA Knight, Priest?
I think those are the three that
That'd be your
could win it.
favorite. Then
I do.
Ricochet, Escobar. You know, Yvonne brought up a good point the other
Nothing
night.
wrong.
We were debating this. What if Pete Dunne won?
Pete Dunne.
I mean, I wouldn't hate it. Why not?
Like that'd be a wild card, and that'd be a
Wild.
way for him to branch out of the Brawling Brutes, which they've been hinting at anyway.
Sure.
I love how he ran in the ring and just fucking ran and hit Logan
Attacked
Paul in
him.
the face.
He
And then he
did.
tweeted it. He said, "Back to Hollywood, pretty boy." And it was just
He
the,
did.
the 5 seconds of him jumping and punching. Like
Mhm.
I
did
love
like
his
that,
character
but
so
I
good.
love Pete.
Didn't like how shortly after that Logan Paul threw him out of the ring.
Dude, I love his swan. It's crazy how athletic the motherfucker is. When he dove and took everybody out and landed on his feet
Yeah,
with a
good.
bottle of Prime in his fucking
He
hand and
did.
started drinking,
He did.
the dude's impressive. I'm
He
not
is.
like I don't love him,
He's impressive.
but he's very, very impressive.
I hope he shows up, does a cool thing off the ladder, then goes the fuck away.
Him and
I
Ricochet,
agree.
I think are gonna do. I
I
think
do
we're gonna
too.
get some amazing spots.
If he
I
wins
do.
Money in the Bank, I'll be like Vince McMahon era pissed. I won't be
I'll
happy.
be
Oh,
mad.
boy.
I'll be mad.
Hey,
too.
he ain't got the Raw yet.
I'll be mad.
We'll get
too.
there. All right, so let's get to the main point for the title of this podcast
Oh, yes.
episode. It is the war
The
is
war
on.
is
Let's
on.
go to war.
Is that what it's called? Yeah, let's go.
Yep,
I
the
can't.
war.
I fucking do it. And I don't even know.
The war is on.
All right, so Jey Uso's also going to win his Oscar. He has to.
He
If
has
he's
to.
not nominated, Chris Rock should get smacked again by Will Smith. So the tribal chief thing we discussed last week. Jay's going to be the next one. They got real deep in it. Roman said, it was Paul's idea. Jimmy wasn't happy about it, which Jimmy not very happy, admitted that he was not.
He was.
Jay was pissed, prom king. And then they showed a really cool vignette of this during Raw, where it was like pictures of Jimmy as the prom king,
Personal,
Yep.
as the fucking.
Go back to high school.
Yeah,
days.
so it's real. That's bringing reality into.
If that really was Jimmy, it might have been Jay for all we know.
that's fair.
Right, that is.
But I'm assuming that they're going with the story and it's Jimmy.
I hope so.
I mean, he got the hot WWE diva as the wife. He seems like he was the,
Is
star
Jay-
athlete.
Is Jay married?
They both
His
are.
wife just isn't a wrestler.
I didn't know. I never heard about
Naomi
it.
is getting a world championship match in Impact.
That's
The
what's
next
up.
pay per view.
Good for her.
I think it's Slammiversary.
Nice.
But anyway, so Jay says, "You're out." Me too. Snap of finger, drops Roman.
He dropped him.
So Solo's in shock.
Mhm.
Jimmy's in shock, and Paul falls and slides out of the ring
He
and starts
did.
grabbing his face, screaming.
Paul does what Paul does.
And
Exactly.
then Solo goes after Jay. He ducks. Jimmy kicks him. And they double super kick him. And then Roman gets up,
All
throwing
crying.
a fucking tantrum.
He's throwing a fit. He's
And
done.
gets super. I've never saw super kick sold this. I thought he died.
They-
Somebody on Twitter, because I never watch it live. I'm always doing shit on Friday.
Sure.
See, we talk shit about AEW, but I don't watch WWE live. Friday, Saturday nights, adults, even though we love wrestling, still do other things. That's why DVR exists. It was a great invention. And YouTube
And Hulu.
and Twitter
All of them, yep.
and Pornhub, but that's not for wrestling. Well,
Or live.
Oh, for
Paige.
God's sakes.
Paige, it's for you.
Oh,
But
for
anyway,
I need to fast forward for that. But anyway.
Oh my.
yeah, just skip the Xavier Woods part. But anyway, they drop him. They leave. Roman's pissed.
Mhm.
And according to Paul Heyman from the Pat McAfee show yesterday,
Ooh.
Seth Rollins was stuck on an airplane trying to get from wherever the fuck they were to Florida for NXT last night. Paul had us come in. And he announced, Fastlane is going to be in Indianapolis
That'd be
in
a good show.
October.
I
Pat
can
McAfee's probably going to be there because he's
Yep.
an
He's
Indianapolis legend,
He
even though
is.
he's a punter, but he's more
Yeah.
popular than Peyton fucking Manning. It's crazy
I
how
think he
popular
still,
he
he
is.
still lives in Indianapolis. Yeah.
his shows. He signed a 5-year, $85 million deal with ESPN. He's took over their whole 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock slot.
Jeez.
It starts after
He's that
around
good.
football season.
He's
It's
that
right
good.
now he's still doing his own thing,
Sure.
but he's now associated with him. So he lost money. FanDuel was paying him 4 years, $120 million, but he opted out of that with ESPN.
Imagine
Because-
opting out of a $4
Well,
million deal.
His issue was he does game day, he does WWE. I mean, money's really not an issue for this guy, right? But when he does his show on YouTube, he produces it. He's the executive producer. He does the content. He does the ed. He does everything
Right.
like you do with this, like
Sure.
editing, uploading.
Not
He-
even close. Mine's real easy.
Yeah, but he's just not into doing that.
gotcha.
ESPN has guys that'll do that for you. That's what they're paid for.
That's where it's at.
So what that means is he said that one of the reasons is he wants to come back to WWE because when Paul came on, Paul acknowledged Pat McAfee is the best announcer in WWE.
He
He,
is.
He
said,
is.
"Me and Roman Reigns acknowledge you, Pat, because we miss you on commentary and we need you back here really soon." And he said, "I'm working my ass off to get there. I swear."
Hell yeah.
And he's live tweeting during NXT last night.
He
I love it
was, he
because
was.
he has like 7 million followers, and
Sure.
that's going to help NXT. And Seth did a fucking crazy frog splash off the top rope with broken ribs.
I would have watched
Wait
it
a-
if Peacock was on today, but no.
Yeah.
Now, you're gonna be a day. You can watch tomorrow.
I'll watch
Probably.
tomorrow.
You can.
It was a very good show,
Very
except
good.
for the Dana Brooke match. But whatever.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
that's fair.
But this is where it leads to Bloodline Civil War. Love the
Yeah.
name. People
Yeah.
that say it's a cheap knockoff, fuck off.
It's
I mean,
perfect.
Well,
if
it's-
that's a cheap knockoff, then calling Captain America Civil War is a knockoff because this is all based off the real Civil. Like
It
they,
Right.
is.
it's-
Civil War,
it's
that's what it
fine.
means.
It's
It's-
fine.
It'd be weird not to use Civil War.
This is
here.
a badass poster.
It is.
This match is gonna be badass, and I know we're 2 weeks away, but do you guys think the Usos might actually win this match?
I think they could.
Is
I
who
think
ta-
they could.
Yep.
You pin Solo.
And
You did have to.
Roman's-
Solo has not. He's only been pinned once.
If Cody
Like
beat
Cody.
it.
Cody beat him. I mean, do you think?
I could because there's no belt on the line. I think it could go either way.
I
do
agree
too.
with
I
that.
do too.
If it was going to be a pin, then Solo would have to take it.
All right, so there was a part in that promo, and I started laughing my ass off.
Well, he
The way-
actually, I'm sorry, he lost twice. Solo has not because they had another tag match that Solo against KO and Sammy.
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
lost.
So
he's
he
actually
got
been
pinned.
yeah, but
twice.
he took like 4 finishers or something.
Sure.
Right? He took the Helluva
Yep.
kick, the
But he
stunner.
did
Yep.
lose.
Yeah, okay.
Roman's
Hey,
not getting.
He's been
pinned.
booked strong.
He
Oh,
has.
for sure.
Um,
He's only lost twice I can think of.
yeah, that's the Cody one's the only one that came to mind.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was 1-on-1,
And
and then
KO
the
and
other tag
Sammy.
team. So
But-
even Roman has lost a match because of that match.
Yeah, he just hasn't been pinned in like since
Correct.
Baron Corbin pinned him during the dog food,
Yep.
feud,
And he's not.
which is
gonna-
bizarre because we were at one of the house shows for that.
Yeah, we
But-
left during it.
Do you guys think? So when Roman's lecturing Jay about it's me or him. And he looks at him like he's absolutely fucking insane. He said, that's my wise man. He's not here for you. I go to him for my shit. He's not here for you or Jimmy or Solo.
He's not the bloodline.
He's mine. He's not
for everybody.
on retainer. He said, if you become tribal chief, get your own wise man. You can do whatever you want. Which, if he was the leader of the bloodline, who do you think his wise man would be?
Sami Zayn?
Probably Rikishi.
Rikishi would make sense.
Yeah.
But Rikishi always does it for The Rock. So
I think
Right, that's true.
Rikishi is due to show up soon.
I would think so.
I
do
really
too.
do. And I think this might be it.
I
A
do.
Rikishi distraction, because as Bebe enlightened me, at least, I forgot that Solo was just sent there by the fucking family.
Yep.
He's not there to protect anybody. He's just there to keep shit in order, which it's not working.
Not
So
working at
insert
all.
next family member, Rikishi.
Yep.
He comes out, distracts, fucking 1D, bam. Usos sneak out. Roman freaks the fuck out. And then does he fight one of them at SummerSlam? I don't know what his plan would be.
Yeah,
But I
SummerSlam
assume
has
it
to be
would-
for a title.
I would,
Has
yeah.
to be.
I would
They already
assume
said
Jay.
he's defending his title there.
He has to at SummerSlam.
So this story is really, it's just getting better, dude. And Jay was great. I didn't know that. I mean, the internet fucks with me. I probably should stay off of it. But like, I knew this tag match was rumored for a long time.
yeah.
Like, and it makes sense. But goddamn, Jay sold it.
They
Jay
all
sold
sold
it
it.
very
They
well.
did
Jay's
sell it.
very, very good. And the coolest thing about it is he's a main event star now.
He
So
is
when
main
Roman
event
leaves,
Jay.
like his match with Theory a couple weeks ago was really good. I
Really
rewatched that because I skipped through a little bit of it because I was being impatient.
Yeah.
He's good on the mic. He's a very good actor. He's
Very
an
good,
extremely
very
good
good.
seller.
Imagine what would happen if Rikishi does come back at Summer or at Money in the Bank, and then he gets spiked by Solo.
People are
Imagine the Usos' reaction to that.
Dude, people are gonna hate.
That's his dad, you know.
I understand that Roman, when he gets pinned, should lose the belt.
Sure.
I would have Rikishi come out, remove Solo, because the family sent Solo.
Sure.
Mhm.
Roman's like, what the fuck are you doing? 1D. Jay pins him.
Yeah, I think it'd be awesome.
And that sets up SummerSlam.
I think that'd be
I
great.
I am the tribal chief.
Yep.
Then Roman comes out and beats the fuck.
I
I
think
mean,
that'd be phenomenal.
slams him through the table,
Beats the
the
crap out.
barricade. Jimmy comes out, pleading his case for a few weeks. Jay's not gonna be ready. Then you get Jay and Roman. I think you make him take a pin.
Sure. I see nothing wrong
And he
with
doesn't
that.
lose
I
the
don't
title.
either.
I don't think that hurts him at all.
No, not at all.
It doesn't
Dude,
hurt him.
Roman Reigns could lose to Zack Ryder on WWE main event clean, and I don't think it would hurt him.
It's
No,
not
I
gonna
swear
hurt
to God,
him.
he's that
I
bulletproof.
mean,
right
it's
now.
all one pin's not gonna hurt anybody for anything for one.
I think that add to the story as well.
Exactly, it
It's
would.
going
And
to.
imagine because Roman Reigns has been really good at selling with his face here lately.
He is.
So imagine if he does get pinned by Jay, not losing his title, just gets pinned by Jay at that match. His face would be fucking awesome.
And he takes Solo away, then he's by himself. And then
Yeah.
where does he go now?
He'd be
Does
really
he
good at
reach
selling
back into the family with there's other
it.
ones.
Sorry, guys.
I mean, there's a couple more in the family, I think, that
Oh, there's a
people are
lot.
saying that they could like ply
There's a
like
bunch,
a couple
yeah.
wrestlers. I think that'd be the best way to go.
Yeah,
The
Yeah,
segment was
I
great.
agree. I don't think they would pin him, but I think they
I don't
should.
either.
I would agree all day. They
I-
should.
What's wrong with it?
I am kind of sick of hearing Baron Corbin every week scream, I pinned Roman Reigns the last time. Even though Balor's thing on Raw, he said a few weeks ago, was really good. He said, I beat Roman Reigns on my first night here. And he did. He
Yeah.
beat him for the
He
number one
did.
contender spot where he beat Seth.
He did.
But I thought it was
Yeah.
a pretty good smack. That segment was great.
It was really good.
It was trending for 2 days. It was
really
trending
good.
until Sunday.
I was excited.
It
I
was
was excited
trending-
to watch it.
It was trending third to Collision.
It
Which
was.
granted, yes, Collision was trending first, but it was
Well,
live. So
And it was the night after.
Jay Uso trended until Tuesday.
That's good.
Jeez.
That's cool.
And
Man.
it got 36 million views on social media over 24 hours, which is absolutely fucking nuts.
It was a good segment. I really enjoyed it. It was
Really good.
probably my favorite Bloodline segment since their trial before WrestleMania.
I want somebody in WWE to put this together in like a hour movie
it's like
Okay,
edit
without
Perfect.
the matches. You know what I mean? Like,
the storyline.
or you
progress.
add the parts in the matches in where like
Mhm.
Sammy kicks Kevin Owens in the balls.
Sure.
Then like they have to. I'd
Well,
buy
they
it.
could do a total sweet vignette.
I mean, put it on Peacock. Don't make us buy it, but I'd buy it if I had to.
I would too.
But-
and they just do like a really cool, like they do like the vignettes before matches. They just make it like an
Cool.
extra long one. It'd be
And
really
then
good.
show it 8 times during the pre-show. Like they do
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, it's been good. Now I'm really
For a 3-year story.
Not to be a
knowing
downer.
you for about 9-10ish years now, you're not very attentive past
Well,
like
and I'm
a
kinda
couple months.
I'm kind of getting over it. Like, it was good, and then it was boring, and then it was good, and then it was boring, and now it's good again. But after SummerSlam,
See where we're
then
at.
we gotta start thinking about
War
getting
Games.
more people in here. I guess War Games would be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna have Payback, then Fastlane, which is replacing Hell in a Cell, and then War Games.
I hate the name Fastlane in that time because what are we fastlaning to? Like it made sense before
Well,
WrestleMania.
they put it in Indy because Fastlane, Indy 500.
That makes sense, I
So
guess.
that's why they placed Payback in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, the fighting fucking city. That's where a lot of the boxing came from.
That makes sense.
So Triple H is
Building,
placing these in places based on, War Games going to be in Boston. Boston's always a great city to have big events.
We had a
like
war
that.
there. We had
So,
a war. Remember?
The
Not
Tea
remember.
Party went wrong. A bunch
Yeah.
of shit.
It
The
did.
Patriots got
Paul
fucked out of
Revere.
2 Super Bowls.
So it was Paul Revere.
But Tom Brady lived there. But
Yeah,
I loved
that's
it.
cool.
It was a good
It was
episode.
good.
The LA Knight thing threw me off when he lost, but then he beat the ever living shit out of Escobar, so it was fine.
That's what's up.
LA Knight doesn't need to win. He's just over, dude. His
He's
pop
over.
on Raw.
It's the thing with wrestling. Wins and losses don't really matter.
It
No,
don't
and
matter.
it doesn't bury you or anything. I'm pretty happy. And look how sweet the graphic is.
It is
They
cool.
changed all their graphics.
I like it.
That's pretty sweet. I like
It's
that
got the
color scheme.
London-
That color scheme is really good. It's kind
It
of
is
gray.
cool.
Yep,
It's always
yep.
raining in
Dude,
London.
they did all of it. So right now, let's transition to Raw, then I'll do that when we end. Raw was pretty solid too.
It was.
So the big thing on Twitter every week before Raw is Vince is changing something and everybody's freaking the fuck out.
Oh,
So
what?
Bebe was trying not to be that guy, but I don't know if he was trolling or not. I think he was, but
You never tell sometimes.
so Vince nixed the whole first segment, which ended up being
Why is Vince still part of creative? I thought
he's
he was-
remote. When he feels like he needs to, he does.
Someone
And
needs to
apparently
take
this
his
worked
internet.
out well because the segment came out better than they thought. So the original segment was for Seth to fight Ciampa. Ciampa puts up a big fight. Always so close. And then Seth wins.
Sure.
Instead of that, Vince said, let's spice up Finn. He said Vince wasn't happy with the fans interrupting Finn, which I said last week. I thought that hurt him a little bit
It
because he
did.
couldn't talk.
He
I did
couldn't
like-
even talk.
I
I
did
wish
like Finn
Seth would have
attacking
been
him.
like, shut up.
Like,
But
let him
Finn
talk.
beat the fuck out of him, attacked him. And my dad of all people, he was like, so he's fighting Finn at Money in the Bank. And I was like, yeah, he said, and he's fighting Open Challenge Monday. And I was like, yeah, and he's like, he's fighting the Steiner Boy Tuesday. And he's like, yeah, that's stupid.
It is.
It is.
He said,
nuts.
he's not going to lose either of those. So
yeah.
Vince probably thought the same thing
He
and said,
probably
well, let's kick this one in the butt. Like, we're not going to defend that tonight. Finn beats the shit out of him, which made Finn look really good. Like, that was
Sure.
probably the best Finn's looked.
I agree.
And
For a
then
while.
Ciampa, thank God, is back. And he
back.
fought The Miz and got a win, which helps Ciampa. And then he cut a great promo on Raw Talk, which people was talking about for most of the night after. And they have real Triple H has fucking loved Ciampa. He got his music back.
He did.
No one will survive. Vince changed it. He got his old shit back. Dude, this is when NXT was the best. Gargano,
was.
Finn, the fucking Undisputed Era. I said Gargano already. The Way. Bronson Reed was down there. Like, it was
Yeah. It
fucking
was.
great.
Mhm.
And now they're getting that DIY versus KO and Sammy at SummerSlams would
That'd
be
be a
fucking
great
amazing.
match.
Johnny Gargano, if you guys didn't know, is Kevin Owens' favorite wrestler. They're like best friends, and he loves Johnny Gargano. Remember when he went back to NXT and he just randomly showed up for that War Games
Kinda.
match?
Yeah.
He teamed
Yeah,
with
a couple
Gargano.
years
You know
ago.
why he went back? Ciampa
Okay.
and Gargano.
Makes
So
sense.
there's history
Yeah,
between all
there
four
is.
of them guys, and that'd be a
Sure.
great feud. I don't know who plays the heel. Gargano is a terrible heel.
He is.
Ciampa is one of the best heels I've ever seen. When he he got hurt, he was NXT champion for a long time. Then he got hurt, and he was always trolling people on Twitter back in the
Kinda,
day, and he was
yeah.
roasting them.
I liked his feud with Gargano. I watched
Mhm.
that back.
Yeah,
in
so
the
that's
day.
the new age, like Shawn Triple H, because that's how Shawn and Triple H view them. They're
I think
best
that was
friends.
during COVID, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they had the unsanctioned match in the fucking warehouse, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And the
It
gym.
was the
and
gym.
Yep.
Yeah, yep.
Which was smart because one, you isolate
They were-
yourself because of COVID.
They were throwing weights at each other.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Throwing stuff
Yeah,
at each other.
You're like, what if that connected?
Whoops.
Because he swung that bitch out.
He did.
Dude, I had a weight thrown at me one time when I was a kid, and it hit the cabinet behind me, and holy shit, I've been
Those
paralyzed.
things are no matter how heavy they are, those things will hurt.
Yeah.
But I thought the first segment went over pretty well. It made Finn look a lot stronger than
It
he
did.
had, especially coming off that week. He looked really weak, dude, on that
Mhm.
Raw where he couldn't even get a word in.
I mean, yeah,
so Vince, I
that was
think,
rough-
made
that
the
was
right
rough.
call.
I was.
He
I
did
agree.
make-
Would
He
you
did
rather
make it.
Ciampa? Oh man, he fought like the heart of a
Yeah,
lion.
like that's
I'd
just
rather-
annoying. Yeah, I agree.
And then
We go the
let's just
other
have him
way.
get his ass. Then he goes backstage. And they're like, we're going to go to commercial. Then as Graves says commercial, Finn attacks Seth
Beats him
again.
again.
He did.
I thought it was great. And then
It was
Seth,
great.
we won't touch on NXT a lot, but he did go to NXT, had a moment with Carmelo Hayes, which everybody's been like, you have to
love
get
him.
a match with them sometimes. They're
Really
comparing
well.
it to that time Punk went down there when Seth was the NXT champion and Punk had the spinner.
I remember that.
And they looked at each other.
Yep.
And he said one time, because Hayes was like looking and Seth's like, eyes up here. This is my belt. Worry about defending yours. Because he fights
He did.
Corbin next week.
Mhm.
That's what's up.
But good moment.
It was.
Seth had a really good 2 days. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. And the Miz is there. He's a Hall of Famer. He's done it all.
Yes.
So
I'm
like,
tired of people on the
and
bitching about
Ciampa
Miz.
and Ciampa was with Miz because it was funny because he went up there and dropped and Miz was like, what the fuck? Because Miz was happy he was back.
He
Right.
Because remember he
used
was
to be a
teamed
tag
with him.
team, Yeah.
But Ciampa's back. That's great news for WWE.
That is great.
That's
Oh,
fantastic.
I
news.
like him.
I'm glad he's back. Every time he gets injured, it's always long. He's up for 9.
He is.
And it's probably said 9 months. 9 fucking months. He's like, I'm here for SummerSlam. I'm here for Mania. I want to win Money in the Bank. I'm going to win the win. He's like, I'm going to win everything. He is ranting. It was great.
Until he gets injured again. But
We'll skip the women's tag match. Indus Shear destroyed Benjamin and Alexander. I don't know where that's going. But a lot of people love Jinder as a manager.
Jinder Mahal's manager.
He's their manager of Indus Shear. Veer. He's King.
Oh, Veer?
He's there.
He's there? Oh,
he's
shit.
there. He's
He's
there.
there.
Hell yeah.
He's
Veer finally came.
probably not in the YouTube or the Hulu version. I would imagine.
Is this a Raw?
Yes.
Oh no, it definitely was not. Nope.
I wouldn't
I wish I had that version.
Yeah, right.
I'd have to see Jinder.
All right. So something that Chuck would call Hulu in protest if it wasn't on there is Logan Paul. So
Yeah.
I'm with
his
Chuck on
segment,
that
he
one.
came out sitting on the ladder. Well, he's already sitting on the ladder when it came back from commercial,
Lord.
which led everybody to coming out. We kind of touched on it already.
Mhm.
LA Knight destroyed him on the mic. Ricochet had a good solid
He
moment on
did.
the mic.
Did good.
I'm
Very
leaning Priest 2 weeks in. You both still thinking LA?
No, I think Priest.
Priest
I
right now.
think Priest or LA would both still benefit from it, and I think, but going by what Bay said earlier, I think they're both at that level, and
They
neither of
are.
them needs it. So if he was saying, "Well, LA Knight doesn't need it," I don't think Priest needs
I'd
it
give it
either.
to Butch.
Or
I
Pete Dunne.
really think that would be a
He
good
could
thing for
he could
him.
use it.
And then he can lead the Braun Brutes and say, I'm on my own. I'm going to win. I don't need you. And then
Pete
turn-
Dunne will
turn
get
him
over
heel.
on his own. He did before.
Sure.
He did.
Yep, I think anybody on that
It's
card
tough.
that needs it the most, it would be Butch to
It
I
would.
agree.
separate himself from the group that he's
That's
in.
tough.
But yeah, I still think Priest will win because, like you mentioned already, that'll be just a really good storyline with.
It
John
fits
Cena.
into what they're doing
Yeah.
already.
Absolutely.
They wouldn't have to alter anything.
Any of them three guys make sense.
Like,
really. It's
LA Knight would just come out and do some promos and that's it.
That's
know,
it.
to
I
elevate
do think they have
storylines.
big plans for him. I think he might take the title off Theory.
I hope so.
okay.
They
I
want to
like
take it off him and he'd be perfect.
Sure.
I like
And
that.
he could have a good mid card run, and
Yeah.
then
Mhm.
as Roman
Dissolves a little
dissolves around there,
Yeah.
maybe he has a strong showing at the Rumble.
Sure.
Mhm.
Then he has a good LA Knight thinks good, and John Cena's being heavily rumored as his opponent for WrestleMania this year
be
because
sweet.
John Cena put 2 pictures of him on his Instagram today,
bit. Nice.
and was apparently he's a fan.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Riddle got beat up by the other Gunther and the other guy. That's
I
still
did see
around.
that. Yeah, that was
So,
on there.
The Viking Raiders beat the Alpha Academy.
Mhm.
We ain't gonna touch on that a lot. Raquel Rodriguez and Trish Stratus. So Trish, thanks to Becky, is now
Mhm.
in the match. I
She
love the
is.
creativity of how they got her in it.
I
Yeah.
like it.
Because Becky got grabbed in the back and just like punched Trish off like reflex. And then that DQ'd Raquel.
Mhm.
Trish got hit. So Trish got in
So Becky calls Raquel.
because Becky tweets out afterwards the R-Truth gif that says, "Oh, this one's on me." So you remember a lot of times R-Truth came out like, "I will be the world heavyweight champion."
That's on me, That's
So
Poor
it would be
Raquel.
perfect.
Poor Raquel, though.
But I think
funny.
But-
that's a crappy way to lose.
Chuck alluded to earlier, she sold Asuka's line.
She did.
She did. She said no one's ready for Raquel. Bitch. You
I
can steal
think-
other people's gimmicks.
She's had it at this.
It's not like Oscar's not there anymore. Like she
I
just,
I know. I thought it was pretty funny.
She's just
And
chasing.
then you had the stare down with Rhea.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
I
good.
think Raquel versus Rhea will be SummerSlam.
Yep.
So Raquel seemingly took Rhea's spot. Actually got it passed down to her
after Rhea.
after Rhea went to the main roster the 1st time.
Mhm.
And dude, how fucking big of a star has Rhea Ripley become?
Killing it.
Like
She's
literally.
a star.
Corey Graves said something. Well, it's funny. There's a picture on her Instagram, which I didn't get the joke watching it live, but he said, Kevin Patrick was all over the dude. He's getting comfortable in commentary.
He is.
You can tell he is.
Sure.
He's all over the fucking place now. And he did an interview with Zoe Stark because he does the After the Bell with Graves. Graves still has that pod.
Gotcha.
And they were like, "Thank you, Trish. What are you thankful for?" And he said, "Trish, I'm thankful that you lied to me." And Graves like, "What the hell are you talking about?" He said, "You said you weren't anybody's eye candy back in the day." He said, "I beg to differ, Trish." And Graves like, "Calm down, KP."
Easy.
Easy.
And so he starts like, "Oh my God, how do I follow that?" Because he's like, "Trish, you were big eye candy."
Being
right?"
all creepy.
Yeah. But then there's a picture on Rhea's Instagram that a fan or somebody painted of her. It's just like her leaning over the ropes with her tongue out. And he said, "Hey, KP, I love that picture that you put on Rhea, that you painted for Rhea. She put it on her Instagram, and he just got a big laugh out of it. I didn't get it.
awesome.
But it was, I
funny.
guess it was like an inside joke. But it was pretty funny anyway.
That is
Hell
funny.
yeah.
But Trish is in.
She's in.
So
Hell yeah.
I think the women's Money in the Bank's a hell of a lot fucking harder to predict than the
It
men's.
is. It's very
It's
tough.
gotta
You
be
can
good.
make a case for all of them
Like
outside
I was
of.
talking to Josh Monday, there's so many theories.
Here they are.
Which I'll save for Money in the Bank when we
So
do.
Becky,
pick two
Zelina,
theories, so it's
Bailey for now,
tough.
Io, Trish, Zoe. Bailey for now. She fights Shotzi this week
That's true. That theory can change.
with her
Yeah.
spot on the line.
We'll see.
So I mean, I would rank that. Look, I'm interested. Me and Yvonne talked about this for like an hour the other night during Raw.
It's tough.
Who would be your favorite right now? Who makes the most sense to you to take the briefcase?
Of those 6,
Those are our 6 right now. I expect Bailey to lose and Shotzi to be thrown in, but I don't
We'll
think
see.
Shotzi would win. She could.
Yeah.
You never do. Triple H is very famously known for, hey, Cody was winning, psych, or hey, this guy was winning, psych. He
Sure.
also does go against the grain a lot.
no, for sure. Not Trish.
I say Io or Becky.
So I saw an interesting rumor via WrestleBuddy that they plan on the cash in being unsuccessful for the women because they are 6 for 6.
I agree.
That makes sense.
So would
I
it
know.
make sense? It's a theory. Austin's theory is what we're going to call it now.
There we go. His
Trish
theory.
wins.
Think Trish? I just said Trish.
Then
not
she
Trish.
no, but hear me out. Trish does win somehow with help of Zoe, right?
Sure.
She throws cash in. Becky drops her ass,
Prevents yeah.
and then Becky Trish.
'Cause-
SummerSlam.
Because
You have it.
Trish beat her last
Or
time.
Becky.
They didn't
I
finish it.
honestly think they're going Becky Lita versus Zoe Trish at SummerSlams where they're
so.
headed.
You really don't need Lita to come back.
Well, Lita got taken out by
By
Trish.
Trish,
You
yeah.
you want to feature Zoe in the match too, right? Like
yeah. Lita would make sense
But-
storyline
but-
wise.
because Trish took her out, right?
But if Becky would win, we know how that's going to go. Trish.
Who
Now
would you all
Zoe-
like to see win? Because I don't really have a pick here,
Yeah, I'm like, to be
Stuck,
honest.
I'm stuck between Io and Becky.
but
right
I
now.
think
You and Becky.
Io scares
Yeah,
me.
right now.
It's like everybody has a butt.
But
Like
you can't
Trish could
count
win,
Selena out,
but
you can't
Becky's
count her
there.
out.
but Zelina could win because she's the only
You
one
can't
without.
count her out.
She has
either.
no beef with any of these people.
She's
yeah,
just there.
it's true.
You know what I mean? Like she could take it and run off do her own thing,
Mhm.
like Charlotte and all them. And she had a really strong showing at Backlash as well. If Priest was the big star coming out of that, Zelina was second, right? Like
Mhm.
she had a really good showing against Rhea.
Yep.
Like that's the furthest Rhea's been pushed. I mean, you see what Rhea did to Natty on Raw, right? Did
Yeah.
they have that on Hulu?
Yeah.
Oh, what-
Just destroyed her again.
Like Natty had a big thing. Oh, she destroyed
I
me.
don't
At,
like how they're using
and then
that.
she did it
pay-per-view.
again. She beat her in 69 seconds
Yeah.
at in Saudi.
Remember the King of the Ring and the Queen of the Ring? Selena won the Queen of the Ring.
Yeah, I mean
that
they
really put her over.
that's my dark horse here. If I was picking today, I'd pick Trish, but I'm not picking today. And there's ways for this to go because
Sure.
you have Bailey that could be left. Then
Or she
Io,
could be in. Yep.
I would like Io to win.
See, I kind of
So
assume
I-
Trish and Becky will screw each other.
I
I think
agree.
so.
So does Zoe make sense? Like they beat the shit out of each other, and Zoe's like, "Oh, it's my
She's-
time,"
Yeah.
and then she holds on to it for a little bit. And
Yep.
they use that to,
Yep.
like Bebe said, it was a great point to elevate the next person. Out of all these people, Zoe could probably use it.
Mhm.
Becky doesn't need it.
She don't need it.
Bailey doesn't need it. Trish doesn't need it. Zelina and Io and Zoe, it would help. Those
It'd
would be
help
my
them
three I'd
three.
pick out of.
I agree.
Right now, I would lean Io still.
I do too.
Out of those three, overall, I pick Trish.
Out of all the outcomes, there's going to
But-
be an unsuccessful cash.
I
in
love
with
Trish.
Any of them.
I love that Trish is having this run. This
I
week,
like.
though.
I like this new.
and she's good.
It's
Yep.
Hill Trish. I like it.
But
It's tough. Which will.
I like cards like this that
it's
are hard to
crazy.
predict.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure.
Because Yvonne, I told Yvonne, I was like, you know why I was champion for like 989
Tough.
days, right? And she's like, why? I was like, I mean, it's like I wrote it. Like some of it's just,
It was.
it's, you know what I mean? Like it helps that the main event of every pay-per-view was
Mhm.
won by the same guy for
Sure.
3 years.
It was
you know
very
what I mean?
It was very, Vince is very
because it can go different.
Formulated, formatted.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
You combine formulated with
Formulatic.
formatted.
Yeah.
Because this can go
Hey,
so many different.
If you can make
ways.
that work.
I know. Formulaic. There
I mean,
it
look,
is.
Apple finally took ducking out of the autocorrect when
I
I'm trying to
saw that.
type fucking, so that was nice.
I like formulaic. That's the word I'm using. I
But
don't
I'm
know if it's real or
intrigued.
not.
This
But
match is very intriguing to me.
It is because so much can happen.
I like it. I think the whole card is looking pretty good.
I
And
do
like,
too.
like we said last week, and now this week, we're still 2 weeks ahead.
Do you
and
like the
it's
less is
solid.
more?
Oh, for sure.
And
All
you're
day.
okay with we're gonna stack the fuck out of
Yep.
that SmackDown.
I'd rather
leading into
I'd
it.
rather have 7 good matches rather
Over 2
than
nights.
12
So
push.
you'd rather have
fast.
a solid SmackDown. It's got KO
Sure.
versus Chuck's new boys. It's sounding like pretty
Mhm.
deadly. If you show up on the show wearing one of
Man.
those fucking shirts, though, I might lose my shit.
I'll have to like wear like a wife beater under it.
I think I'll let
Blonde hair.
I'll try to grow my chest hair out, and for Halloween we can be pretty
There
deadly.
you
I need to
go.
lose at least 100 pounds.
Yeah, same.
So those dudes weigh 170 each.
Little.
Last time I weighed 170, my doctor asked me if I was on drugs.
I was in high school when I weighed 170.
Funny, I shared our photo of us when we interviewed at JD Legends the other day.
I saw that.
Yeah, because you commented on it. My buddy Jimmy was like, so what drugs did you and Chuck do together? You guys look skinny as fuck.
I know, man.
And we did. I was wearing 34 tight, skinny jeans, and they were too big. We both looked at least 70 pounds
Well, that
smaller.
was back when I walked all the time. So where I worked, I walked all the time.
We'd come do the show, and you're like, yeah, I just walked and all this shit.
I ran a lot more back then, and I walked all day at work.
I need to get back to that.
I don't do shit. I did stop drinking during the week, though, as you have all noticed. And since doing that, I've lost 12 pounds in the last couple of weeks. So
nice.
There, alcohol. I always said I can drink whiskey during the week because it's less fluid than beer. Turns out that's bullshit. So yeah, but yeah.
And then Bronson Reed beat Shinsuke. And then we had the baby faces. Cody, who needed a partner because he got called out earlier in the night, and he got Sami Zayn and KO. Very fun match.
Mm-hmm.
And the baby faces stood tall. And it was a kind of a sight to see. It's like, here's your three biggest stars on the red brand all together. And it works. Good match. Cody's entrance is still way too fucking long. It was funny watching KO and Zayn rock out to it the whole time.
Yeah, that was fun.
funny.
So if you don't see it, he goes to the top rope and he's like, and Kevin's like, say it, say it, say it, say it, say it. And he's like, and they all do the whoa. And it's pretty funny. But I do like the KO, Sammy telling him to fucking chill. The whole he's like, dude, what's wrong with you?
That he has
right
anger
now?
Problems.
You're
out of control.
Overall, I don't think Vince fucked up. Thank you, Vince was trending after Raw because
Yeah.
everybody's like, if he made drastic changes, this was a pretty solid show.
That was good.
So maybe Vince here. All right. So with the Vince thing with me is maybe he's better watching it from afar, tinkering with 2 or 3 things, than booking all of it.
Being there in Gorilla,
Yes,
he can't handle it.
Remotely, but I honestly think I don't think he calls in and says, change this bitch. I think because it's his fucking son-in-law. That's not how you talk to family. Okay.
Right.
Vin Diesel. Ask him.
I
think he's like,
X,
I think he's like, yeah, see, over collision. But I think he's like, hey, instead of having Seth do the whole match, which we know it's going to happen, Ciampa's back. Do you want him to take a loss? What if we heat Finn up? He comes out, he beats the shit out of Seth. Then he can sell it on NXT tomorrow. Breaker will look strong. Seth will retain. He'll look even stronger. Then you have Finn attack him again, and you just spice that whole rivalry up because you kind of hurt him last week, Trip. I'm not going to lie to you. From my opinion, I feel like they have conversations like that. Bitch, change it now. I'm taking my daughter. Like,
I would hope that's the case.
I would assume.
I feel like when Vince was there in person, it probably was more, we're going to do this.
But I wonder.
Not that aggressive, probably, but what Vince says goes. There was no conversation.
There's no.
Now with
rebuttal.
remote, I can feel like Triple H can have more,
See, when Vince was in charge of creative and he wasn't there, he just called, and that's how he was. I'm assuming.
Right.
Fuck you, do it out my way. But now since he communicates through Triple H,
yeah,
I'm sure they have discussed. I can see Triple H reaching out to him at times.
And
like,
I feel like
I put myself to a corner here. Like, what would you do with LA Knight? Like, besides putting him in the fucking Max Male models, but what would you do with him? Like, he's over, Dad. Like, do I? You know what I mean? I feel like those conversations do happen,
and I feel like he also has.
And it should. Vince is a great thing. He's a great asset. He really is. As much as people hate the guy he's done a lot of weird shit, but his mind, he's why wrestling's so popular still.
Well, I also hope that Triple H, I assume that he has the balls enough to say, no, that's crazy.
It's his job because he said when they sold it, he's like, I'm not going to step on his feet. Like, I'm not going to override anything he does, but I'm not going to hide in the bushes either. Right. Which he shouldn't. It's still his company, whatever.
So I just hope, I just think that they can have discussions rather than it's my way or the highway like WrestleMania 17.
Highway or the highway.
But yeah, I'm still not a big Vince fan, but I did enjoy the Finn attacking. So.
I thought it helped the feud.
Yeah, for sure.
Depending on who wins, I still think Drew's going to come out and kick Seth's heads off.
Oh, Seth's winning
after that.
Yeah, there's no way that Finn's
winning. But a cash in. I mean, is there a chance that Drew comes out, drops Seth? He's just laying there.
I doubt it. I hope so. I'd be cool with it.
And LA Knight, Damian Priest. Oh my God, that's how they can do. That's how you get. That's. God.
I still think.
I wish our briefcase wasn't on the line so I could have enough balls to make this big.
I know. I know.
I don't think LA Knight's going to be champion yet.
Look. What if Seth beats Finn? Priest wins Money in the Bank. Oh, first, second match, third, whatever the fuck it is. It's going to happen before Seth and Finn. I would watch this open the show too and just throw my whole theory.
Right, it could.
I'll throw it off.
But Drew comes out, kicks Seth's fucking head off.
Sure.
Finn just lost. Priest music hits.
Hell yeah.
He
Come
goes
out.
down, hits his fucking chokeslam, which is pretty dope.
There it is.
Wins 1, 2, 3. Finn comes, or sorry, Priest comes to Raw as champion
Right.
after Finn lost.
Lost.
Like
How
Finn
much
has the
tension?
championship match, but
That's
he
tension.
walks out champion.
Yes.
Drew does. So.
How much does that elevate? So
I
then
think-
you have a
It's
Priest,
gonna be great.
Seth, Drew, Finn thing.
I think it'd be great.
Fatal 4-way at SummerSlam. I think that'd be fun. When's the last time we've had a good Fatal 4-way match?
Remember
that pay-per-view they did?
WrestleMania 2000.
Do you remember when Vince
Wow.
tried that Fatal 4-way pay-per-view?
Kinda, yeah.
Every match is a Fatal 4-way.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I give Vince the balls for trying. I think that would be the best
That'd be
option going
great.
forward.
I
And
mean,
if I had balls and we had nothing on the line, that's what I would pick to
yeah,
happen.
dude. For whatever reason,
Because that would further the tension quickly.
The
It
match
would.
itself isn't that popular, but I love a good fatal
Fatal
four-way
four-way.
elimination.
No, I do too.
I do
It has
too.
to be elimination.
Yeah,
Has
like,
to.
that's
Or
where-
if you're with like 4 people that need protected, it's like if Roman's in it,
sure,
then you don't have Roman. Like you make it a regular fatal
Yeah.
4-way.
like
right?
the last
But you
one,
can do a tag match like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
and the last elimination fatal four that I remember that wasn't just the pinfall that's over was WrestleMania 2000 with Triple H versus Rock versus Mankind versus Big Show. It was awesome, and obviously Big Show lost first, and then Mankind, and then Rock, and then Triple H won. But like it was still a fun, hard hitting, shit's crazy match, and you can't do it every fucking week, but once every few years you can have a good fatal four-way elimination.
I think that'd make a lot of sense. And that keeps Seth right in it.
Yep.
And he's got shit going on everywhere.
And you got
So
Drew.
like, and a new Drew, I came for the belt.
A heelish Drew.
Then he goes after Priest,
Yep.
says, that's mine. And Fowler's like, fuck you. Like, I'm just throwing it out there. You want the Money in the Bank winner to kind of make sense with the flow of the show where you're at.
for sure.
So
It's gonna be a little.
we'll see. We got 2 weeks, thank God.
It's tough.
Yeah, I'm excited for that show. And then my favorite part is it's at like at 1 p.m. so I can get day drunk.
3
I love
p.m.
it's at 3 p.m. Even better. Yeah,
Yeah.
more time to get lunch.
Nope, yeah, you have time to gather that food.
Yeah, I love
For you
these
drinkers out there, you got to get that food
That's
intake
right.
in, or else it's going to be a very, very
Yeah.
long day for you.
Yeah, I love these overseas pay-per-views because I love this day stuff. It makes me want to move to California so I can be 3 hours behind.
Well, I want to thank WWE because after Money in the Bank, it's SummerSlam. And then there'll be 3 pay-per-views I get my belt back.
You can
Because
finally
we're done with overseas
Let's
shit
not
until at
get
least the
ahead
end of
of
the year.
yourself.
you can finally go for this.
He's got to beat me first.
I thought about being nice and putting this on the line at Money in the
Being
Bank,
nice.
but then I learned that Roman wasn't, so I'm not
Oh God,
That's fine. We got the briefcase.
we got Chuck Reigns on.
We're doing our
side.
secondary undercard right for this.
But you got to beat me to get to that.
No, well, we'll see.
Well, yeah, what you keep saying.
I ain't scared.
But yeah, right now, before we end it, Civil War, Bloodline. I'm assuming main events. I put these in order.
I would think so.
I would
Yeah.
think so too.
Finn Balor. These pictures are so sweet.
Those are
They
cool.
really
I
are.
really like that. color.
I like the belt more and more I see it in pictures.
I like
It,
it.
it blends. And it's
It
funny that
blends
Seth
in.
has been wearing that collared shirt and pants
Yes.
ever
Yeah.
since he's won it.
Matching
Hell
his
yeah.
title.
Yeah, look
Dom
nice.
Dom. Look, I even put it in the banner that way.
Dom.
Dom Dom and Cody.
Yeah, that one could be an upset with Dom winning.
Yeah, I wish I
I
could
do
bet on
too.
FanDuel. Minus 5,000. They're fucking nuts. Logan Paul, Ricochet, Shinsuke Nakamura, LA Knight. Yeah. Butch and or Pete Dunne. I don't know what they're calling him right now.
Butch, as far as I know, still.
I think it's
Priest and Santos Escobar. And then the women's, Io Sky, Trish, Zoe Stark, Bailey, and or Bailey and or Shotzi, Zelina Vega, and Becky Lynch. And that is it for right now. I don't think there's
That's
any
pretty
rumor
loaded.
to add any. Maybe they added Gunther Riddle to that.
Maybe.
They could.
That would make sense,
Because
actually.
they're feuding right now.
Yeah, they could throw them two on.
Dude,
there.
it would be great to just have Orton do his thing at Money in the Bank.
I did.
Sure.
But I think it's too soon, especially if you can't do Drew and his return on the same night. You want to
can't.
spread
Spread
big
it out.
things like that.
Yeah.
So at Money in the Bank, you could have Drew return.
SummerSlam or return.
I think they're either going to do because Brock's going to be there. I would
Yeah.
assume Brock's there.
Yeah, crap,
F5's
yeah.
the fuck out of Cody. Dom comes down and gets the win. Then Dom's going to be more intolerable because he's going to say, "I beat Cody Rhodes,"
beat Cody
and that
Rhodes.
adds another layer to his character.
His hatred.
I think
Yeah,
it'd be great.
I think it fits perfect.
It
Then
fits,
Cody doesn't look bad at all
No, he
because he got
don't.
destroyed by the
Brock Lesnar
biggest,
again.
like the monster. And then that sets up their third match at
SummerSlam.
SummerSlam because he called him a pussy bitch or whatever.
They
Yeah, I
did.
did. I know there's a bug flying around here.
Oh, I wish I was still champion. I smacked it with it that one year.
Josh
Could that
versus
be that one
Wasp.
time?
Yeah,
Josh versus
but
Wasp.
it's gonna be fun. We have
It's gonna be
5
fun.
matches right now.
So much.
Possibility of 2 left, but KO, Sammy versus Pretty Deadly, and Asuka versus Charlotte with Bianca ringside. I think of the advertised 2 matches for
Mhm.
the SmackDown from London right now.
Yep.
And then this week you got Ronda and Shayna against
Isla
Dawn and Alba.
Fire.
I can't say their name.
Alba
No.
Fire.
And that's going to unify the NXT and the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. That's this week. Paul did say Roman was going to be there this week.
He was.
The schedule I saw online of his was that he's bi-weekly right now. So that's a nice
That is.
surprise if that's true, which I assume Paul wouldn't be out there spewing out stupid shit.
Sure.
But and next week's the go home show. So I would think Roman would want to address what's going on the next 2
I
weeks.
think
Yeah,
so.
I would assume he'll be there.
Or do a
next
fake.
week.
Yeah, he said he would on the McAfee show. I watched the interview because I love, dude. McAfee was live tweeting during NXT. It was great.
That's awesome.
But
McAfee's awesome.
and he wants to come back, and I'm ready for him to come.
I'm
back.
I'm ready for him
to come
too.
back.
I'm in.
3-man booth with him, Wade, and
Come on in.
Michael Cole.
Cole. See what happened to JR?
Yeah, he hurt his eye. He fell.
And he couldn't talk during collision.
He fell.
I think he needs to just
No, he needs- he
retire.
does.
He needs to retire.
He's at
Enjoy
the
the-
age. He does.
Even though I hold the unpopular opinion that I think Michael Cole's better peer, like when you look back in 20 years, you're like, man, Michael Cole was a better announcer than JR.
Nah,
I just do.
nah.
But he's better. He's more. There's a lot of reasons. We're not going to get into that now. Maybe one day we'll do a top 5 announcers, and I'll have Michael Cole in 1, 2, 3, and 4.
JR
and JR
was-
5.
Well, JR was phenomenal in his time.
He was great.
but-
Michael Cole's phenomenal right now, and it's his time. And how many? What's JR's WrestleMania record? Michael Cole has a loss.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
That's
How
the
many
thing,
times
man.
has Michael Cole been touched, or how many times has JR been inappropriately touched by Heidenreich?
Yeah.
But he did get set on fire by Kane, so that kind of balances that out. Then
Yeah.
He was so
remember that
high.
Michael
think
Cole
about-
cringy segment where Heidenreich's like, "Do you
Yeah.
like this?" And he's like,
I think I'd rather be cut on fire. To be honest.
and you got to give Michael Cole credit for helping The Rock back in the day because his segments with The Rock
He
were
did.
amazing,
They
It
were
was
good.
and he looked completely different. Have you ever seen like him? Like,
Oh, yeah.
he is at the gym.
The
That
bleach
fucker's
highlights.
ripped.
Yeah.
Michael Cole could beat somebody's
He
ass.
could beat some.
I'm just saying, but JR, dude,
That's sad.
I do have a lot of respect, and I do like JR.
do
I love
too.
him.
He
But
just
I
needs
was
to
sad when I
retire.
saw that picture. He looked like he just got
He looked-
punched in the
He
eye,
looked terrible.
and then he was bad on commentary, and he tweeted out right after the show, "I'm sorry."
Yeah.
He has a good-hearted dude.
I mean,
I don't
he
have
is.
any ill will. I
He's
just think
had-
Michael Cole's
He
better.
just needs to
Had a
step
couple
down.
of strokes.
Like I like Peyton Manning, but Tom Brady's way better. Like it's just the reality of it.
Well, JR needs to retire.
He does. He needs
He's
to- I
pushing
don't-
himself too much.
Why don't he do like a backstage
He does-
role?
he does a podcast.
like he does with like he did with WWE when he was like the talent.
He could
Relations.
They
do
could
something
use a
else.
guy like that to ease the peace. So
Absolutely.
you think Kenny and CM Punk would mutually respect JR?
Tony Khan doesn't understand that, does he?
You know what I mean?
No,
Like I
absolutely.
think he'd be a great person
I
to
think
like
he
look.
would be great.
I've been around
To be
longer
the
than
guy in
both of you
charge.
combined.
Yeah,
like
man up
you
and get
guys,
over it.
I think he'd be a great him and Arn.
Yep.
What the fuck? Like you
That's
have
what-
great talent
and that's
back
what
there
I-
to help your backstage.
I
Arn did that
honestly-
for WWE for years, didn't he?
Yeah, for sure.
He did.
I honestly thought that's what he was doing when he was bringing all these old guys back. I thought that was the point of them being.
Yeah, because I was like, well, if
Turns
he
out-
structures this correctly,
That's what I thought was happening.
it's
Turns
like
out it wasn't.
WWE's got like Jamie Noble,
Yep.
fucking Eric Young, Jason Jordan, Tyson Kidd,
Who's the other guy that was there?
Pritchard, Bruce Pritchard,
Yep.
bunch of guy, Kevin Dunn, all these people that they
Yes.
trust. Triple H, Stephanie, like,
Mhm.
and they do allow the wrestlers to have a lot more creative input right now,
He
as you
does.
can tell. I think everybody can tell. But
Sure. That's what's
I'm
that's the
excited for
problem.
Money in the Bank.
Me
Yeah,
too.
I do like 3:00 start time.
Oh, I
that's
love
good.
I like the early ones. I don't mind the 7:30 because Saturdays I don't like go out and do shit. I'm normally at home anyway.
Same.
But I do like it earlier, so it gives
Yeah.
me the opportunity
to do other things.
do other
Like, I
things.
like,
I'm
you know,
aiming, if I can, to try to attempt to go to that concert that day. We'll see. Right now, it doesn't look very promising.
I'm
but
going to be there.
I have 14 days. You're not going?
I said I am going.
No, I don't know.
The
We'll see.
Ayatollah
I need
of
to
rock
start.
and roll.
I need to start
I'm going.
OnlyFans to get this cash up, but
Right.
see what
It's-
happens.
It's really funny that the night, what was I think? It's the night of Money in the Bank is going to be the night that Jericho is here across the street.
That's awesome.
And it's not even sold out yet.
And that band just liked my tweet today as well.
That's
on
cool.
Twitter.
Well, yeah, that would be a fun show. Well, hey, hope you all enjoyed this show. Via Vaughn, when you do go see Chris Jericho, take plenty of pictures and tell him I say hi if I'm not there. And
will.
that's pretty much all we got.
Next
right?
week is prediction show.
I like
Money in the
And
Bank.
speaking of Twitter,
Yvonne, you'll see the clever, cool picture she made as the headliner next
Yep.
week. And I love, you know what I love? First, the prediction shows are fun.
They are.
Yeah.
And the follow-up
fun.
shows are fun. But my favorite part is no fucking prep is required. I
Nope.
put the pictures in, I
That's
type
it.
in the matches, we talk.
Bada bing, bada
Then I
boom.
keep track of, I don't even got to keep track of your picks because you're not defending.
They don't matter.
It's just me and her
Just
for Money in the
Still
Bank.
got to keep
That's
track
it.
for record reasons.
Yeah.
I keep track of all. You know, it's funny. I have a folder on my laptop. It's RSH.
That's cool.
I have every pay-per-view we've ever picked.
That's awesome.
You know, it's like 60
I imagine by now, yeah, we're over
Yeah,
3
look,
years in.
episodes. pictures, pay-per-view notes, scorecard,
Actually,
a picture of the Fiend,
I
our
th-
draft. Tony Khan's a bitch. What is this?
Tony Khan's a
I wrote a
bitch.
whole thing about him being a bitch.
But-
Did I read this on the air? Yeah, I did. Tony Khan the jackass. Have a happy trip, bitch. I think I did this when we first had Bay
I
on.
think you
That's
did.
awesome.
Then I wrote one. Yeah, look, WrestleMania 40.
I think we are 3 years in now.
Maybe.
Oh, we are 200. We're 181. We're 19 episodes away.
That's what's up. Because we started right before COVID, right?
Right.
That's what's up.
Speaking
But
of
we also
Twitter,
took like 5 months off.
we
that's
did.
right, I remember that.
Yes, I thought we started like the summer of 19. We did. So 19, 20,
Spider-Man.
21, 22. So we're like almost 4
Remember,
years
this
since
is
Homecoming.
is the
Or the Far From Home, right?
Yep. That's our
And that was 2019.
Yeah.
So we're 4 years in. Holy shit.
one. Yvonne, go ahead. I'm just going to count.
No, you're fine. Speaking of Twitter, not that I brought that up, but tomorrow, in honor of Orton's return at some point, one of my articles will be released. Greatest Randy Orton moments. Then my other one will be released. They said June 28th is his matches. And then I will reshare them when Orton comes back.
Hell
So
yeah.
that'll be
right.
tomorrow.
If we stay on track, November 8th is 200.
That's what's up.
My
19
month of
weeks away.
November. I like
So
it.
I think, shit happens. We might miss one or two between now and then.
Yeah.
Sure.
That happens.
We should, hell, if we miss 3, it would be on Thanksgiving.
Nice.
Close to my
Thanksgiving on a
birthday,
fucking
yeah.
Tuesday this year?
Thanksgiving.
28th is on a Tuesday.
That's my
Isn't
birthday.
Thanksgiving on
Yeah.
the
Thanksgiving,
28th?
25th.
Thanksgiving is always on a Thursday.
All right, so it's going to be on
Thursday.
the 30th. It's almost in December.
That shit.
Damn,
Wow.
next year it's going to be December 1st.
I know, right?
That's weird.
My month
So
of
our-
November. Yeah,
It would be in November right now,
that's awesome.
That's cool.
which is pretty
My
badass. And
goal
if you
in
take
mind.
those months that we took off because of whatever,
Yeah.
I mean, we would have been
Oh, sure.
probably around a month or two away.
That's
So
what it was. It was
it
how
has
many
been about
years?
3 years. It's been a long time.
I mean, I
when
think
I'm getting
4.
3-year memories on Facebook and me and you were chilling at JD Legends, we've been at it for a while.
Yeah,
And I also
that's a
keep
good
getting
point.
these memories that say, buy our shirt, because I was trying to sell those back then when we had
Yeah.
back when we had a shirt guy.
Did have a shirt guy.
That's
I'm looking up the
crazy.
Far From Home release date. It's 2019. It came out July 2nd.
That sounds about
2019.
right.
So yeah, we
I
I
started.
think it was that summer.
So yeah.
Sure.
So next
Think
month
so.
marks 4 years.
AEW started about a year later.
It's nuts. Yeah, makes sense.
So our anniversary's July. So
Second,
all right. So that came out what day?
July 2nd, 2019.
So we probably came out. Yeah. So our 3-year anniversary show would be
It's crazy.
the week after Money. So the Sunday after Money in the Bank is 3 years.
I have to create something for
It's a long time.
So we can do a Fallout / Happy 3 years for
I'll
our.
create a poster
yeah,
for that.
definitely
I
make
think-
a poster for that.
I think 4 years, right?
Oh,
'Cause
shit, you're
19,
right.
20,
Yep.
21, 22.
I can't
still
do
use my
math.
finger.
I've been fucking up at work lately counting.
I still use my
I'll
fingers.
create a poster for that.
They started calling me the human calculator. It's like, if you ever seen the movie, That's My Boy.
No, actually. I
Okay,
haven't.
so Adam Sandler
it's
bangs
good.
this chick when he's in middle school.
His teacher.
Well, according to
Oh,
them, it's
I
called
did.
rape.
I have seen
And
it.
then they're
I
like,
did.
8 + 8. And he's like, beep, boop, beep, 16. I'm that guy at work. They're like, 186,000 divided by 8. I'm like, dude, it's 218. And they're like, how? So then I got cocky. And now today I missed
Now
kind
you're
of like
fucking
8
up.
things at work. And now I'm like, 3 years. And you're like, bro, it's 4. But
That
whatever.
happens.
But
I
yeah.
did see That's My Boy. I watched it last year or like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it's on Netflix right
It's
now.
Yeah.
funny.
It's
He-
pretty
He
good.
just bangs the teacher. That's right.
Yep. And,
He does.
and Adam Sandler's like the hero, even though he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's a good movie. It's
really
funny. It does what Adam Sandler movies do.
I like
Andy
Adam
Entertaining.
Samberg's funny too.
Yeah,
I do
4
like Andy
years.
Samberg, yeah.
4 years is pretty
That is nuts. That's a whole high school career.
nice.
Hopefully.
For some of you. I know some people out there took 5 or 6 years, but
Not joking.
not us.
Cool. Well, hope you all enjoyed the show. We are over an hour in, and if you didn't, that's on you for like still watching it this long in. So fuck you.
Fuck off.
And yeah, we will be back here right at this time next
Around.
Wednesday, around 6:30 ish, for our MITB predictions.
Oh yeah, I forgot to put this.
Yeah, that's a
Look
good
at
one.
that epic picture.
Hell yeah. It's cool. So be sure to check us out. Be sure to tell all your friends, all your family. Check out Yvonne's stuff on Wrestle Buddy on the Twitter and on her own personal profile. And Josh's work over at Wrestle Buddy. Be sure to check out all of the
You
amazing
won't find
shows.
it right now.
Whatever.
Yvonne's carrying me right now.
Hell yeah.
Damn.
Be sure to check out all of the shows over
I'm
at
the Paul
SJP World Media and all their good stuff. And of course, all the Wrestle Buddy content with Jimmy Bebe and all them fools.
Absolutely.
Cool. And until next time, you
All
will
them
all
fools.
continue to fear regularly scheduled hostilities.